In this lesson, you will learn how to give a title to your film by mixing different effects and different tools. So let me show you the different possible results. So let's try to identify the different tools I have used for those titles. For the first one, I think it's easy to guess, especially if you have just watched the previous tutorial, since it's a combination of the auto paint with a particle. Actually, it's simply the hot rod particle, the same that I use in a previous tutorial. I've just changed its size and some little different parameters. And the brush used with the auto paint is this firefly brush just here. On this one, you will probably recognize as well the particle. This particle is called firewall. Can be found just here. And before applying this particle, we can notice here on this layer we have a stencil. We'll just enable the stencil by clicking here, yes. And this stencil up is just the title of the film. So with this text that have been put thanks to the text tool from TVPaint just here, just to show you quickly how it works. So by default, you can draw with the text, but if you want to just put one single text without drawing with this text, you can first change from letter to word. You can disable the pressure on the sides and uncheck these different options. Then let's make the text bigger. You can also change the font by clicking here. I have different fonts available. It depends on the fonts you have on your computer. Then you just have to stamp the text like this. Then turn this layer as a stencil, as a mask. Let's switch off now the mask. And when I will open the FX tag, the FX tag will be applied only on the text. In order to see it, I will just increase the size of. So we'll just move a little bit up. You see here the text. For this title, it was quite simple. First of all, this parchment aspect has been made with 3 different layers with different layer blending modes. And for the text, actually, it was quite simple. So I just wrote the text by hand with brushes I've created. And I combined this text with an effect called erode. Just here. So erode can be found into stylized. Just here, erode. So these effects just allow you to erode, to eat an element, eat pixels. And so I've just make an interpolation from the text here, which was eroded a lot, and here where it's not eroded at all. For this one, you will be tempted to think it was the auto paint for the text. Actually, it was not the auto paint. There is another tool to record a drawing, and this tool is called the drawing recorder. So what's the difference between the drawing recorder and the auto paint? The auto paint is necessary if you want to record a stroke and record its path at the same time. So for example, in the previous tutorial, I was recording the stroke and I used the path with the particles, so the particles could follow the stroke at the same time. If you just want to record a drawing, for example, for a spin painting, then you can use the drawing recorder. So first of all, I will just change here the background and use none. You have to keep the current layer and not use display like this. I will just use something different like a white stuff. Okay, perfect. Just make it bigger. Okay, awesome. So now I can click here on this red button to start the record. And then I can stop the record like this, and I can render the record by clicking here on this little button. So once a record has been applied, it will be generated on a separated clip. I mean, you have then a clip here with the animation, with the animation of the record, and you have here the final drawing made on this other clip. So now let's combine it with another special effect called the volumetric light. It can be found into rendering. Volumetric light. Of course, with this effect, you can increase its length, its power, and also its position. That's how this title from this project has been made. Now let's see the second one. This one actually was made also with the drawing recorder. And then we've just applied a layer from this cool book. And the only little stuff that we made by hand was this little stain that appears at the end. Actually, it was just animated by hand. I just stamped the stain, and I just deleted a few marks here in order to have this effect. For this one, it's quite simple as well. So we've just used, first of all, the text tool, and then we combine it with a keyframer. And for the keyframer, actually, we've just changed the animation like this. So here is the small size, here a big size, and then a smaller size just to have this bounce effect. And for this one, can you guess which effects I have used? Actually, you can't, because I didn't use any effects. That's the little joke of this end of tutorial. Actually, here I've just make a combination of the text tool, the selection tool, and I've just used a lot of layers to have this rendering. Just to show you, we'll just create a new project. I will write something. And then I will use the selection tool to select each letter separately. And I will cut each letter on separate layers, like this. And so now I have one layer with the OLLEH. And then I used on them a pose behavior hold, and I use a different timing to make them appear. For the little bar, you know, this little bar actually is just a bar that is here, which is not here, it's here, it's not here, oh, it's here, it's not here, it's here, it's not here. And I've just moved it frame per frame, and sometimes I even used the faux here in order to get this result.